Harvestella is a game that was released by Square Enix in November 4th of 2022. It is a farming simulator. Now, my fiance loves farming simulators. Animal Crossing, Disney Valley, all sorts of stuff. And, I've seen her play a ton of these, and I've not really played any myself. Obviously, the Animal Crossing New Horizons was extremely popular in 2020. And I've seen her play a couple other ones besides the two I just mentioned. And Stardew Valley is really the only one that's caught my attention until now. And Harvestella takes all the things that you would expect from a farming simulator and puts some jrpg elements into it. So that's what caught my attention. A fellow fan of Final Fantasy XI recommended this game to me, so I downloaded the demo. And it's a sizable demo. Like, the demo is, I got a good 2 to 3 hours of playtime, and I could easily get some more if I really dug into it, I think. And I think so far the biggest gripe I have with it is the character creation. When you start out, you have the choice between 3 different genders. And no matter what you select, the 8 options you get for the body are clearly feminine in nature. And I feel like if they were going to have the 3 options, they should have just, that they should have had more variety. Or if they were just going to have these 8 options, it's clear that the game wants your character to be female. So I wonder if they added this in later down the line and just decided, that the appearance wouldn't matter all that much. So there isn't as much customization as I would have liked. But you get into the game and you're a stranger to this town, and you're basically, it's kind of implied that you have amnesia, and you can name your character and all that stuff. But you're given a house of your own where you can garden and mine and all that sort of stuff, and receive mail and sell items that you plant. So that's the farming simulator part of it. There's also lots of crafting options inside your little hut, and of course you get visitors that come and go without knocking, of course. And it's the place that you go when you get knocked out during combat. And speaking of combat, so that was one of the things that interested me, was the role-playing elements. So you do go out and fight stuff sometimes for quests, and when you take on these quests, you start with very basic abilities, and the combat isn't anything to write home about. I would compare it to early Kingdom Hearts games, sort of. I'm sure it gets more in depth as the game goes on. Like most Final Fantasy games, the combat isn't super complicated at first. You start with very basic stuff, so I imagine there is a little bit of that element. But to me, it wasn't super satisfying. Like, it's not bad by any imagination, but I think that if you're wanting a little bit of combat mixed in with your farming simulator, it's good enough. I like the special abilities. I love that food has an importance in this game. So if you eat food, your stamina recovers better. And then if you make certain recipes, just like Final Fantasy 15, you get certain boosts and stuff. And if I end up getting this game, it's something that I'm excited to jump more into. And it's hard to exactly touch on everything that is in this game, because even with the demo, it seems like there was a lot to do, which I appreciate. So I think the demo is definitely worth your time. And as far as story goes, like I said, your character is basically dropped into this town, and there are these aliens that also kind of crash land, and it's not clear exactly who they are, but there's some misunderstandings. Like, the people in the town are like, oh, we don't want to help those aliens because they're dangerous. And it turns out the aliens actually really aren't all that bad. They seem to be just scary. It's one of those cases where they're scary looking, but they're not really like evil. At least not yet. But yeah, I think the demo allows you to play through the first 15 days or until I think the end of the second chapter. So I think it's worth checking out if you're into farming simulators, or if you're like me and you're into JRPGs and you have somebody that you really care about or somebody close to you that is into farming simulators and it's not really your bag, then check out Harvestella, because I think it has enough JRPG elements so far that it would be worth playing the demo at the very least. It's like the music and the look is also very charming. I think the music is relaxing. It did its job. It felt like it was very unintrusive in places. And then, like I said, the visuals, I think the visuals are very pretty. I think it's another example of, we don't need games to be hyper realistic to be good looking, or to, have infinite ray tracing, or be 500 FPSs or whatever. But that's a rant for another time. So Harvestella, you can get it on the Nintendo Switch. Make sure you check it out. Comment below, let me know what you think, if you've played the game already, or if you've checked out the demo, if you're thinking about it. Thanks for listening.